everybody, it's Marina from Cyclical Thought, bringing you sustainable solutions to help you create, grow, and thrive. Today's video is going to be the second in my Come Plant With Me series, where I show you how I plan my garden in my bullet journal. In this episode, we'll begin to address seeds and planting systems. So let's jump right into it. So what you grow in your garden ultimately is all up to you. It's about what you like to eat. I mean, personally, that's the way I look at it. If I'm eating food, I want it to taste good. So there's a lot of crops like purple carrots that I feel like they do have additional nutritional value. Like the purple carrots have anthocyanins, but as far as all of the purple carrots I've tried have been super fibrous. So if I want like a good raw carrot to shred on top of my salad, I'm gonna go for like a Scarlet Nantes or Scarlet Nantes or a Danvers carrot, just because those are my two favorite carrot varieties for sure. Super delicious. So where to get your seeds? Most of the time I save seed from my garden in the year past, but also sometimes I buy a lot of seed and then have leftovers. So this year I'm actually going to not buy any seed, I'm just going to try to use up all that I already have. So that's pretty much what's going to determine how much of what I have this year. So the amount of seed you need is really going to depend on your planting system and like how closely you're planting and how much you want to get out of your system, really. So that's going to be variable for everybody. And like I was saying, personally, I'm just going to build off of what I already have, which is way simpler than doing the mathematical calculations of how much seed you need per square foot of bed space you're actually using. So where I originally get my seeds from are either from local farmers or, you know, grandparents if they have gardens. Sometimes they save seed and you can get really delicious tomatoes that have been growing in like down the street from you for 20 years. So you know that's a really good tomato variety for your area. When I do buy seeds, I like to buy them from either High Mowing or Wild Garden Seed or the Seed Savers Exchange, Seeds of Change, that's a really, really great one. But, you know, the list goes on and on. There's lots of really great organic seed producers. And a big part of my seed decision, like the seeds that I tend to grow, are open pollinated and not hybridized. I'm going to make a video about that, but essentially when you have an open pollinated plant or plant variety, then you can save seed from it and it will be true to type or truer to type than a hybrid seed would be. Unless it's a stabilized hybrid seed, but that's a whole nother thing I could get into. But as far as the open pollinated seed, that really makes it easier for you to save it later on, so then you can have that kind of stability and you won't have to buy seeds over and over again and you'll know what you're getting, which makes it really nice when you're planting next year. What I like to do is just sign up for every seed catalog I can possibly get, and then, you know, in like November and December when they tend to send them out, I just use them in the bathroom pretty much as like good reading material, or like Thanksgiving I'll read a whole bunch of seed catalogs. So it's a really good pastime for the holidays, I feel like, and also that's when they all come out so you can start ruminating on what you actually want to grow before they all sell out. So planting systems. It's really important when you're creating your garden plan in the beginning to have kind of a setup rotation where you have different, I'd like to call them zones, where you grow different families of crops. Because each crop leaves something else in the soil and takes something from the soil. So when you're creating that rotation, you want to ensure that the following crops have what they need to grow successfully. If you're interested in learning more information about rotations or when you should plant things, Elliot Coleman's gonna be your man. This book, The New Organic Grower, is fantastic. He has all of these like schedules for when you should plant plants, and let's see, where's another one? Oh, he's got a rotation schedule. Yeah, so he's got a rotation schedule that has the type of family that you need to plant and what order they should go in. So this is pretty much going to be the base of what I'm building my system off of. He's fantastic. So let's talk about bed spacing. There's lots of factors when it comes to bed spacing, but I've really come up with a system that I really like. Well, I didn't come up with it, but I found a system that really works well for me. And it's essentially going to be John Martin Fortier's market gardening system. Let me show you that real quick. So he likes to have 18-inch walkways there, you see, so your butt doesn't hit your vegetables. So basic. And then his beds are 30 inches, so you can easily reach the inside of the bed from both sides. So John Martin Fortier really built off of Elliot Coleman's agricultural systems, and Elliot Coleman, he works in greenhouses a lot, so his walkways tend to be a little bit smaller or narrower, so he's maximizing the square footage he has inside of his greenhouse space, which makes sense for his system, but since I'm going to be planting outside, I'm going to adopt John Martin Fortier's system. As far as bed length is concerned, I'm going to go with 50-foot length beds, because that's going to make it easier for me to do kind of my irrigation zoning, and I can do a video about that if you guys are interested. Leave a comment down below, because that's kind of an intensive system. I am going to be using drip tape, but if you plant your beds from the front of your irrigation to the end of your irrigation on your bed, it'll make it easier to just like, kind of, I guess, kink the hoses where you don't need water, so that after that it's just, you're not wasting any water on land that doesn't have any seeds in it. So when it comes to seed spacing, there's a lot of factors you can consider. Personally, I don't really like weeding a whole bunch when it's unnecessary. I enjoy the process of weeding, just not exactly when it's unneeded work, when there were things I could have done ahead of time to prevent it, because then I just feel like I'm wasting my time. So in the Market Gardener, they have a good example of seed spacing. So if you're using machines, oftentimes it's easy to do this type of spacing, where you leave like a little space in between each of your rows in your bed. But since I'm going to be doing everything by hand, this is the system I'm going to be using, which is a bio-intensive system. Essentially everything is really close together, so it minimizes that space in between each of the rows where you actually would need to weed. That's going to take a lot of time away from your weeding, and also it's going to kind of create a little, you can see there's the wind going over it there, but it creates a little microclimate under there where it will keep all the moisture in, and it will prevent essentially evaporation, so you won't need to water as much as well. So there are many benefits to doing this type of bio-intensive, really close planting system. In addition, you'll get a lot more in a smaller area, so if you're trying to maximize your productivity while also having enough room in your walkways, this is a really good system to implement. So now that I've explained a little bit about what I'm going to be doing in my beds, let me draw them out for you to show you exactly how I'm going to arrange them. So these are just the bed outlines. I will be filling all this in as I plant during the season, and I will have my different zones set up. But we'll talk more about that next week when we address planting schedules and how I like to keep my mind and garden organized in my bullet journal. I'll see you next time! Thank you for watching! If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I put out new videos every week about sustainable solutions to help you live your best life, to help you create, grow, and thrive. See you next time.